Hey guys, and welcome to Actualize. This is Dr. C. I welcome you here today. As always, I'll be answering several questions sent in and found online, courtesy of Miss Glow, our co-host. And so I'll be picking up those questions. And so I'm excited for the topic of the day, and that is I am burned out. That's the topic. I am burned out. And so as always, like, subscribe, and follow. I haven't seen the questions, so let's conversate in the comments about your thoughts on this topic. All right, let's go. What are common signs and symptoms of burnout? Again, question number one. What are the common signs and symptoms of burnout? Okay, very interesting. There are two groups when it comes to the issue of burnout. One group is the shutdown, right? If you are the type of person who shuts down, starts pulling away, right? And you can observe this. So how do you tell burnout? It's when that passion is no longer there, the drive is no longer there. There is a tendency to start to pull back. And so when you see that happening, that's group one. Group two are the people who, this sometimes is the more dangerous group sometimes because they actually do not realize it's burnout. It's when you actually begin to lash out. So one group closes in, the other group begins to lash out, right? Very short-tempered with people, very, irritable, right? And so all of these things are coming from a sense of burnout. So while there are other things that can cause those two behaviors, I will say it's good to do self-reflection, self-examination to see whether it is indeed burnout happening. And so you can see somebody still working hard, still in the process, and you think they're not burning out. No, their actions towards others will literally say what's going on, while the other side, they begin to pull back. So those are two common signs, I will say, when it comes to burnout. All right. Question number two. How can poor work-life balance contribute to burnout? How can poor work-life balance contribute to burnout? All right, that's a good question. I actually think that is the core of it. Burnout usually comes or stems from being involved in one thing over and over again. One of the things, if I go to athletics, if most people don't realize this, in order to be an effective athlete, rest is a must, right? I remember when I used to play sports and our coach will tell us to get off our feet, put our legs up, all these things. The reason why is because when you grind and you're running and you're doing all these workouts, at a certain point, your system will begin shutting down. All right. And so that, when it's the same thing with your life, it's if you don't have time to stop and pray and reflect and take care of your spiritual life, if you don't have time to rest and nourish yourself, you will not give your best. Okay. And so, sometimes it feels to some people as if you're being lazy, right? But there is a balance. There's a time where you're like, okay, I need to take a few minutes off, right? And then come back. And it's so interesting that when you take time out, you see the problem from a very different angle. It's like you get a refresher. So one of the things I always say is like, when you feel like you're hitting that burnout place, you need to put the pause button. Take yourself, do something completely unrelated. It's not going to be easy because this thing will still be on your mind. But try your best to go somewhere else, go enjoy a coffee, go do something else, and then come back the next day, or even give yourself a whole weekend. All right? So, work-life balance is important, okay? And it's at varying degrees, yeah? There's a seasons where you just have to get something done. So I'm not disputing that, right? Because there's another group of people who will say, hey, work-life balance is only for those who have made it. Well, here's the thing. Even when you're in the midst of the grind, there's no need to grind yourself out, okay? So it is important, even if it's It's not about a huge length of time, but you need to give yourself moments and pockets of rest. Let's call it that, right? Pockets of rest and recreation. All right, last question. What are some steps to take when recovering from burnout? All right, so you have hit the wall, you have realized that, you're burned out, right? Maybe you've closed off, you've literally been the kind of person who's just kind of like, everything shut down. Or maybe you're the kind of person who lashed out and, you're taking it out on all the wrong people, right? And so the reality is you're in a place of burnout. So what are some advice? What are some steps you can take? Okay. Here's the thing. I always go back to create pockets of rest, create your life to be in a rhythm, right? You cannot have a life that has rhythm without a plan. So you cannot live your life randomly. You have to have a plan. And so my advice is you have to get your life planner, journal, whatever you want to call it, and you need to jot down every hour of your life, okay? And that will help you balance out, right? You can say, I'm only going to do this thing an hour at a time, an hour, then a short break, then an hour, then a short break. Even when you're in the practice field, for any of you who've ever played sports, coaches or good coaches realize that when you're training with athletes, you have to give them pockets of rest. So they work hard, but you stop. There's time to take some water. You tell them to sit down, get off their feet. Why? Because when they have rested and had a little bit of recovery, how effective they'll be, right, in the next session, right? So it's not a question of pulling out of the process. It's a matter of being able to jot down moments. So if you are really in burnout, you cannot continue going in that direction because you will actually destroy the process. You'll be less effective. You'll be telling yourself, hey, I'm just here to grind it out. Believe you me, it can look as if somebody is nonstop working, but a wise person, they actually do take time, right? They'll take a moment to breathe, to rest, a moment for a quick nap, a moment for this. So I would say you need to really create a path. You really need to create a healthy lifestyle, right? And, if you don't do that, then prepare yourself you will destroy relationships. You will pick up negative habits. And while you may get that thing that you think is success, it will have cost you a lot in life. All right. So I guess that is it for today, right? I hope you like this short format. I just said, hey, 3 questions at a time. And so I'm going to stop there. And so that is the topic that I was sent. Burnout. If you have any more questions on the topic, or if you have any more ideas, let us know in the comments below. And so that's it. I hope you've enjoyed this moment with Dr. C. Be blessed. Until next time. Hey guys.
Hey, chill.
All right.
Welcome to Actualize Talks, your destination for purpose discovery, setting vision goals, and fostering leadership growth.
I'm joined in studio by Dr. Casper.
Joining me now in the studio, we have Dr. Casper.